Welcome to the very first week of 2024. So, as we step into the dawn of the new year, I hope this message finds you full of hope, inspiration, and this year, a sprinkle of the magic that 2024 brings into our lives. We enter the week of January 1st to the 7th, a time when resolutions are made, goals are set, the energy of new possibilities is in the air. Whether you're diving headfirst into ambitious plans or savoring quiet moments of reflection, know that the universe is aligning to support your journey. As we begin to embrace the energies of the first week, let's carry the momentum of fresh starts, the optimism of new beginnings. This is your canvas to paint with intentions and dreams and desires and goals. A cosmic invitation to create and shape the chapters of your unfolding story. I'm truly grateful to have you here, sharing in this cosmic adventure. So let's navigate the celestial currents and explore the insights for the week, and infuse these first days of the year with positivity and purpose. So stay tuned as we go to the cards to unravel the threads from January 1st through to the 7th. I'm excited to share my insights, offer guidance, and be a part of your journey into this bright new year. Wishing you love and joy in a week filled with magic. So let's make it an amazing 2024. And now for your personal tarot, sun, moon, or rising sign focus. I'll see you there. Welcome, Gemini. This is your weekly focus for January the 1st through to the 7th, 2024. I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you so much for showing up, and let's dive right into the cards, shall we? Okay, our underlying energy for this week is the Judgment card. Well, if you've been doing the work, you should see rewards come in. Absolutely. If you've been doing the work under the Judgment card, you get rewarded. Now, maybe not in the same way that you thought you'd be rewarded, or maybe, you've been of service to a lot of people, and so it comes back in ways that you can't even imagine. If you haven't been doing things, well, let this be the wake-up call to start getting on task. But I think the majority of you are working extremely hard right now. Anyways, and yeah, it's the holidays and whatnot. So yeah, we're slacking a little bit, but I'm not talking about over the last week. I'm talking about over like the last 3 or 4 or 6 months, and you've been working extremely hard at things for the most part. You've been showing up consistently and doing what needs to be done in order to move you on your path forward. That will be rewarded in some way, absolutely. But if you've been deciding to binge on Netflix instead, or just making sure that you're at every social event, then chances are, it might be, and I'm talking social events over the last, 6 months or so, not throughout the holidays. Everybody's invited. You're expected to go, for goodness sakes. It's the holidays, right? Now, also, this card is the judgment we place on others. We could be looking at that this week, that we, where have we been too judgmental? Where have we been too hard? Maybe we haven't been looking at their through their eyes, or walked in their steps at all, through, in at least our minds, to understand what they're going through, because we're all going through stuff all the time. Or you've been very hard on yourself. You've been very judgmental about everything that you're doing, and even if you are doing like what most people couldn't do in a week and you're doing it in a day, you are finding some sort of criticism, or you're seeing some kind of lack. So be careful of those things. Okay, so we'll see as the cards play out. So I decided, it is an overall energy, so I'm not sure where the cards are going to land for us yet. So that's one of those cards that it could all depend on a whole bunch of factors. So let's look at some of the factors. Our first card is the Emperor. Oh my goodness. Well, here you sit upon your throne. What a way to start your new year. The Emperor. Good for you. This is about making the plan. This is about creating the strategy behind the plan. This is imagining the things that you want to accomplish, the growth that you want to experience, the magic that comes into play. You want to imagine it all, and then you expect it to happen. There is an expectation. There's no doubt in your mind that it can be. It's practical, it's sound-minded. There's a strength in your thoughts, there's a strength in your plan, there's a strength in the strategy. This is okay, so I've been giving everybody else homework, so I would say the to-do list. The to-do list for you. What are some of your big objectives for 2024? Don't worry how you're going to get there so much as writing down those objectives, because some of them might be, by the end of the year, I want this in my bank account. At the end of the year, I want to be in a happy, committed relationship. At the end of the year, I want to be of service in my community in some level. There's those kinds of goals and dreams and desires, and we want to write those big ones down for the year. No, don't go past the year, just the year. But also you want to think of some of those little milestones and those little steps that you want to take. Maybe it's enhancing a relationship, growing it stronger, growing it deeper. Maybe it is growing, in work and career, where you want to start taking those baby steps. You see that, maybe the end of 5 years you want to be in this placement. So that's going to take 2 or 3 promotions within that 5 years. So what is the first one we'll be working towards? What are the first things that we have to have under our belt in order to be considered for that promotion? We want to start a business. It's about making the plan. It's about making the strategy. If it's something like that this week, absolutely. Growing a relationship, growing our health, our well-being, growing our spirituality, whatever is your objectives for 2024, write them down and start to look at what you can do in the present moment towards any one of those goals, any one of those little bullet points that you've made. Okay, we have the Two of Wands. This is about summoning it in. It says, here's the Emperor, and the Emperor says, I am going to do this. Here is my strategy that I am going to roll out, and at the end of the year, it's going to look like this for me. Or it's going to look better than I imagined it. And here you are now, and you've got the place all tidy and cleaned up. You have lots of space. So you have the time, or you have the resources, or you have the vitality, you have the energy in order to do what you propose to do, and you are summoning it in. You are saying, come on, let's get this game started. And the Strength card. Okay, so the Strength card. This is a little bit about unconditional love. Treating others the way we expect to be treated. Thus, the lion, we don't worry about the lion hurting us because we would never hurt the lion, and vice versa. This is about embracing your strength, embracing your courage to go forward into unknown territory. To walk with a sense of integrity. If you say you're going to do it, it's going to get done. That's all there is to it. But we are embracing our courage. We're embracing our strength to take a risk on ourselves. Look at the lion's taking a risk on us. No questions asked. So why are we afraid to trust in ourselves? So it is about building that trust within us that we are going to make the right decisions, especially as an Emperor. We are going to make the right decisions. We are going to be able to move forward in the way we want. Okay, work and career. It's the World card. Wow, there is like this whole new beginning for you. There is this whole new start for you. Now, it more than likely is an elevated path, because there are some things that you need to do in your current role, in your current career, or maybe your stature within the community. There's some endings that have to be put into place, or in order for you to move forward, in order for you to branch into the next evolution of your reality, when it comes to work, when it comes to career, when it comes to building your stature within the community, or maybe it's the home and family, whatever it might be. There are some things that we need to deal with. And so this week, so those bullet points, those potentials, okay, well, now we're going to just do one little other one really fast. Some of those things that we have been ignoring on purpose, and it could be since time stood still. I don't know. Um, get them off the plate. You do not want to drag the old, the, because they're going. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, it's opening day. I'm so excited, and there's a knock at the door, and it's the IRS or something. You don't want these things in your life, right? So it will show, and it will rear its ugly head. Trust me, when there is an evil energy around that says, oh, you're going forward, are you? Well, we'll see about that, won't we? How about if this happens to you? Are you still going forward? So, you know, it's about having that, as looking the storm in the eye and saying, I'll survive. I am the storm. Right? But we want to get rid of the things that we have been dragging forward with us over and over again, because this is like a brand new world for you, and you do not want your brand new world interrupted by something that you didn't pay attention to long ago. So just deal with it, look at it, face the fear, then walk through it. Okay. But this is moving forward. This is definitely moving forward. You could be quitting a job to go to a new one. You could be starting a new business. You could be taking that business to the next level. You could be, it's about growth. It's about expansion. Absolutely. But there are some things that are going to hold you back from expanding in the way that you want to expand, unless you take care of those details, unless you take care of those things now, presently in your life. Okay, love, relationship, the Chariot. Pull it back a little bit. Pull it back a little bit. Think about the relationship. What do you truly want in the relationship? How is it going to evolve? How is it going to grow? And I don't care if you've been in the relationship 50 years. How is it going to evolve? How is it going to grow? How do you want to, I feel there's some tension, maybe. Maybe it's a balance between home and family and work and career, or but I think now's the time when you want to say some things. You want to have some discussions. You want to move forward in a certain way, perhaps, but you haven't really said the right wording yet, or you haven't got it across properly yet, or they're not embracing it, or this is something new that you want them to embrace. And so you're kind of pulling it back a little bit. You're thinking things through before you go forward. Okay, so you just don't want to have this idea that, oh, at supper tonight I'm going to say this to them. Back it up. First, you want to pull it back. You want to understand exactly what they want to, what you want them to take away from what you were conversing about. It could be changes you want to implement. It could be growing the relationship. It could be, downsizing the house or upsizing the house, or whatever it might be. But we want to think it through. We want to have clarity. We want to have knowledge. We want to have understanding. So maybe this is more of a time when we start to question some things. It's like in that first relationship, we start asking the questions like, what do you think about kids? What do you think about pets? Do you like a home or an apartment? Do you like the city or the country? Those little things, right? But, as the relationship evolves, so does the scenarios that we can bring into it. So whatever you're proposing within the relationship, I would pull it back until I was clear on my words and what I truly wanted. and being able to express them. Know that Mercury is going stationary, direct, finally, yay, this week. And I think Mercury is actually in your relationship house. So I don't think I'm mixing you up. I think I'm right there. Okay. Um, so this pull it back a little bit, think it through, get the clarity, get the understanding. Maybe you need to go and talk to their friends in order to get the answer you're looking for. Maybe you know they won't be truly honest with you, or they'll hide some things, and you need to, talk to their friends. And he's been staying late at work, and this is happening and that's happening. And, do you know something that I don't know? And how should I deal with this? And have you noticed anything different about him? Could be that kind of conversation. Or what is he like? Or what do they like? I'm assuming, I'm putting myself in your position. So I'm female. So I would go after the man, but you can go after man, woman, non-binary, whatever you want. Okay. um I'm not trying to impose that here. I'm trying to talk about the relationship in general, so I kind of get lost in me being you for a second. um but you know yeah, it'd be better to get some clarity, some understanding. Now, if you are looking to date, I think you have to get more of an understanding of what you want within that relationship. Okay, I don't think you want frivolous. I think you want a relationship that will grow, will be strengthened, will, with every heartbeat. So it's for you to understand the beauty that you want in the relationship, how you want to be treated within the relationship. Those kinds of things. You know, I mean, love has a magic of its own, and you might meet somebody this week, but will they meet what you want, or are you trying to rush things? Because if you put yourself out into a relationship that wasn't meant to be, only because you're trying to push into a relationship of any kind to be in a relationship, then chances are it's going to backfire, and that person that you're supposed to meet doesn't hook up with you because you're currently putting your focus on this person. That can happen. So there's a whole bunch of scenarios there, but whatever's going through your mind right now, and the things that you want to broach, the conversations you want to have about the growth of the relationship, the expansion of the relationship, I would definitely pull back. I would definitely be asking questions nonchalantly, or doing a little bit of homework and investigation, or going through what I wanted to say and know that that's exactly what I want going forward before I broach the subject. Spirituality, Three of Swords. Let yourself heal. Okay? We just left relationships, and I just went right to, yeah, so the last relationship wasn't so good, or maybe it was the one before that, or maybe it was the relationship with your mom or your dad that kind of, just kind of fried you for life in your mind. Okay? There's a whole bunch of scar tissue here, and you need to heal it. Okay? You need to let it go. You need to know that you have the wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding now that you did not possess in that past relationship. How did that happen to me? How did I not see it coming? How could I leave myself so open like that? How could I let them change me? And there's these questions you ask yourself, and you beat yourself up like it was your fault. Your fault that they were a narcissist, or they were self-centered, or they secretly had huge anger issues, or whatever it might be that came out after you said I do, and they closed the door and you went in the house. The things that happen behind closed doors, we'll never know, right? No matter how sweet or how ugly the person is in the world around them, it's not necessarily who they are once they go home. Okay? And so home is where the heart is, but also your heart can get, and we blame ourselves. We figure we deserved it in some way, or we intentionally asked for it when we think back on it, or we were so blind. Why were we so blind? Well, I guess I saw the details, but I didn't want to look at them. I didn't really believe something like that could be happening. And we hold this stuff in, and it's toxic. So through meditation, through prayer, get out in nature, okay? Please get out in nature. If there's any greenery around you, Okay, because I was just reading this whole article about the color green, and I guess we have the gift of seeing more colors of green than any of the other mammals. And I forget the reasoning behind that. But what I do remember is getting out in a green area will lower your blood pressure, will reduce stress. So if you're stressed out about things, this is the place to allow healing in. A simple walk through nature. And they've just come to the conclusion, the scientists have found that patients heal faster in the hospital with greenery around them. So the more greenery they have around them, the more it speeds up the healing process of somebody who's maybe has surgery or some illness or something like that. So know that getting out in nature is grounding yourself. Know that getting out in nature, or at least around greenery, okay? Maybe it's a greenhouse or something, but to do that, to allow yourself to heal, to remove the scar tissue, okay? Healing through meditation, healing through forgiving yourself, healing through, you have the wisdom now, healing through tearing down those walls. Health, well-being. Seven of Swords. Oh, well, first of all, don't trust anybody too much with yourself. Okay, you got a personal trainer, they're a spotter or something. Just question what they're telling you to do, okay? Not that they're trying to do anything devious, but they might push you in some way this week that might not be beneficial for you. Also, this is a week where getting rid of the clutter would probably benefit you greatly. Wherever there's clutter, it's pulling you down. It burdens you. Every time you open up that one drawer, oh my gosh. And then you gotta have to scramble things around to get them all level enough so you can close that drawer again. Little things like that. It's your environment, and it's what you are holding on to a lot of the times. And I would think it's not even perceptions and stuff. It's more, could be perceptions though. With this card, that's going to bring you down. That's going to lessen your energy. So we want to heal, okay? Because we want 2024 to be a dynamic year for us. So spend this week with a little bit of healing time for yourself. I almost see, things. We have to pick and choose. We can't, do the vegan diet and I don't know the diets, Weight Watchers, and there's a million and one of them, right? You can't do all three at the same time. You got to choose one or the other, right? Doing too much and doing it excessively is just as damaging to ourselves as not doing anything. So if you were only getting 5 hours sleep a night and then you decided to move it to 15, neither are healthy for you. Okay? Let's find a middle ground. Let's find 7, 8, 9 hours even. Okay, we'll give you into the 9th hour because you wanted some rest. So it's about making sure that we're not taking things to extreme this week, that we're doing everything in moderation, that we're picking and choosing what really needs to be done. Like we're not, going for a jog 3 times a day. We're jogging once a day or maybe 3 or 4 times a week tops. Or, we're not trying to push ourselves to lift more weights this week or to beat our time this week. Okay, we don't want to do those kinds of things to ourselves. So don't try and cram too much into any one of your days, okay? Because it's going to take away too much energy, and when we are feeling depleted, when we're down, that's when those little nasty viruses come in and take hold because they found you at a weak moment, okay? So don't allow them the opportunity. And absolutely, this is the time I went to grab my sage and it's not here, but there are a couple of dried leaves here that I have from my garden. So, and this one, I started burning. I burn it in the shell though, so but it was left behind here. Smudge your environment, smudge your house, Okay, it's been scientifically proven that there is good smoke and bad smoke. Good smoke is things like burning sage, sweetgrass. There's a variety to choose from as well, but they did it, I think, with sage, and they took like 300,000 million viruses or something, airborne viruses, and they put them in this room, and then they smudged the room, and then they sealed it, and then for the next 30 days they tested the air levels and everything, and there was not one virus to be found in 30 days straight of testing that room. Because what happens is the smoke goes around that airborne virus and it suffocates it, brings it down, and it dies. So it can't survive. So that would be another thing. Smudge your office, smudge your bedroom, smudge your vehicle if you can, your workspace if you can. Okay. Let's go to the Circle of Doors Tarot. This deck really, really has a life of its own. And I love it for it. Okay. Seriously. Okay. Okay, that's the way we'll cut it. Okay, we have the Maga of Knives, the heroine. Okay, let's see what their book says. Book pretty well opened up to the page. I have waited for you to turn away from sugary fantasies. Do you now dare to step inside the greatest secret? Will you turn your throat to white hot steel and cut through the final illusion? She is the master hunter who guides us out of the dark forest of ignorance, leading us to walk along forgotten paths of knowledge and drink from the forbidden springs of insight. She always knows the way home, for she has journeyed past mountains and oceans we've only dreamt of. The wisdom of the Magna of Knives is a hard-won wisdom, for she has lived a life of constant seeking and questioning, always reaching for the larger, more complete vision. Her knowledge weaves a tapestry of wonder and discovery, daring us to yearn for new horizons. So ask yourself, which of your deepest truths are the most dangerous to the craven and corrupt? What can you do to liberate your people from deception and confusion? Which lines of questioning leads you to the grandest vistas of awe? Your affirmations for this week is: I transform forgetfulness into remembrance. I seek the truth that will set us all free. I am a shining beacon of wisdom. And knowledge is power. And this week I'm including... So I'll show you the box. So if you're out shopping, okay, Power Thought cards, Louise Hay, always a favorite of mine. Let's get that out of the way. I'm just going to fan them out. I'm not going to look. I'm going to wait for the card to talk to me. We'll see what we get here. What's right here? It's safe to look within. As I move through the layers of other people's opinions and beliefs, I see within myself a magnificent being, wise and beautiful. I love what I see in me. So I was cheating, obviously, right? So, until we meet again, remember, I do love you.